Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out top 10 David Attenborough moments. Attenborough. His new name is David Attenborough.
Naturalist, broadcaster, presenter, this man is a national treasure.
I love his
Welcome
voice.
to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Sir David Attenborough moments.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen one of his documentaries where you actually see his face. I've only seen the ones where you hear his voice, where he's just narrating. So this should be interesting. I probably haven't seen any of these.
Called it. Woohoo!
You're a little
Before
close,
we begin,
David.
we publish new content every
That's too close. When you see a bird doing that kind of stuff, it's either in attack mode or it's trying to f you.
For more than half a century, David Attenborough has brought the wonders of nature into our front rooms. For this list, we'll be focusing on his most memorable moments from documentaries, interviews, and other public appearances.
I mean, I've been humiliated enough in the Amazon forest and losing myself. I mean, that, and you really do feel it.
Number 10, The Capercaillie, The Life of Birds.
Okay.
This documentary series studied the evolution of birds, plus their shared
Birds?
and singular habits,
Shared?
casting new light on hundreds of species. During the course of its filming,
that?
Sir David covered over 250,000 miles, visiting more than 40 countries, yet arguably its best and most memorable moments came close to home, in the Highlands of Scotland. As Attenborough enters the territory of the world's largest species of grouse, the Capercaillie, he comes face to face with a bird that mistakes him for a love rival. Run, David, run!
I've never seen that bird before. What was it called? Capercaillie? Capercaillie. There it is. The Western Capercaillie. The Western Capercaillie, also known as Eurasian. Okay. Wood grouse. Heathercock. Cock of the woods. Are they deadly? Looks like a sexy turkey. Like a turkey without all the gross bits of the like waddle on the neck and all that stuff. I don't think they're deadly. He could have taken David's finger off, though, or bitten his
Number
wing.
9, The Wolf Call, The Life of Mammals. In his memoir, Adventures of a Young Naturalist,
David, no.
Attenborough tells the story of how he once wrestled a red-maned wolf in Argentina.
What?
Perhaps that is how he got to know the animal so intimately,
Wrestle?
for in the following clip he shows off an impressive ability to copy their call. As the presenter explains
that's
how
pretty good.
wolves are able to communicate across long distances, his impersonation is so convincing that he appears to draw responses from an entire valley full of the animals. It's eerie and incredible at the same time.
That's creepy. Y'all don't mess with a pack of wolves. I don't think I've ever seen a wolf in person in the wild, but I have seen coyotes. Several times. In the foothills, regular hike, middle of the day, there's a coyote. One time, the coyote was just walking down the street, in the middle of the street, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The other time, it was in somebody's yard. It was behind a fence, but we made eye contact. There was no connection. It was just looking at me like predator or prey, like it was trying to figure out, should I kill this thing or run from it? Wolves are even bigger and more badass than a coyote, I think. So David, don't be calling out to the wolves unless you know exactly what you're saying.
Number 8, Meeting Barack Obama. David Attenborough meets President Obama. On the occasion of Attenborough's 89th birthday, he was invited to the White House by the then President of the United States.
Nice.
Obama wanted advice about the most critical issues threatening the Earth in the 21st century, and after half a century as a leading naturalist, no one is better placed to give it than Attenborough. Of course, he has long been a spokesman on issues such as climate change and conservation, giving this sobering warning in his 2000 documentary series, State of the Planet.
That seems like a nice gesture, but did Barack Obama really need David Attenborough to tell him these things? What did Obama do for the environment after speaking with David Attenborough? Challenged by the naturalist, Obama says, we're not moving as fast as we need to. And part of what I know from watching your programs and all the great work you've done is that these ecosystems are all interconnected. If just one country is doing the right thing, but other countries are not, then we're not going to solve the problem. We're going to have a global solution to this. He's right. You know, whether you believe it's caused by humans or not, we should do something about it, right? I don't want to get political.
Number 7, Lonesome George, Galapagos 3D. The Pinta Island tortoise, Lonesome George, was once the last known member of his species and the rarest creature in the world.
Wow.
When Attenborough visited the Galapagos National Park in 2013, he was granted just 30 minutes alone with Lonesome George. He was asleep for most of it, but awake for a few crucial moments. Sadly, George died a fortnight after this clip was filmed, but has since become an important symbol for conservation efforts in the Galapagos Islands and beyond.
There's another
And
one
George and
behind him.
David briefly became one of television's greatest double acts.
That said he was the last one. But he's not, was he? I thought, are they extinct now? He was the last Pinta Island tortoise. I almost said tourist. But there are other Galapagos Island tourists. They taxidermied him? That's macabre.
Number 6, Birdsong Bloopers, Attenborough's Paradise Birds. Attenborough achieved a childhood ambition when he travelled to New Guinea to film Birds of Paradise for Attenborough in Paradise in 1996, and he has continued his association with some of the world's rarest bird life ever since,
I think I've seen
including
some of this
narrating
footage.
these images of
This
the
looks familiar.
creatures courting rituals, which are regarded as some of the greatest wildlife footage ever
Yeah,
captured.
I think I've seen that.
But not everything always goes according to
I've
plan.
not seen that. He's a little close.
As a consummate professional, Attenborough usually records his scripts in a small number of takes, yet here one bird was determined to upstage him.
David, the bird's freaking out. Run. What are you doing? David, that bird's about to rip your face off or f you in the mouth. Get out of there.
Number 5, the Adele voiceover, The Greg James Show.
Look as the world's most famous pop star zooms down a dirt track in an old Mini.
During his distinguished career, Sir David has provided plenty of hilarious voiceovers on subjects ranging from nightclubs to Olympic curling. But perhaps his most famous alternative voice work came in 2015 when Radio 1 DJ Greg James challenged him to narrate the opening to Adele's music video for her song Hello.
The surroundings are unfamiliar and unwelcoming, but this is no match for such a cool customer, so she decides to tidy up a bit. Oh, dusty, isn't it?
With a script in the style of one of his famous documentaries, this performance underlines not just Attenborough's versatility, but also his sublime sense of humour.
That's funny. He has a great sense of humor. I like that he's aware of his... He's aware of his brand.
Number 4, the Orangutan, Zoo Quest.
Okay.
Heading back to Attenborough's first major TV appearance, here he partners with staff from London Zoo to collect specimens for their expanding collection, an accepted practice back then.
Yeah, that's not cool now.
And this now famous clip shows Attenborough's natural affinity with the animals as he wins the trust of the orangutan, Charlie, and eventually coaxes him out of his cage
Set
and
him
onto
free.
deck. Once rehomed in England, Charlie actually fathered the first orangutan to be born at London Zoo, establishing its breeding colony.
Aw, that's sad. Y'all, I don't like zoos. I love animals, but I don't like zoos. Animal prison. Their whole life, they're stuck in the prison. It sucks. But this is cute.
Number 3, the blue whale, the life of mammals. Meeting a blue whale was another of Attenborough's boyhood dreams, and another he fulfilled when he helped to capture this stunning footage of the mighty marine mammal. Attenborough's obvious excitement threatens to spill over as the creature surfaces mere meters from his boat, yet he retains his professionalism just enough
going.
to faultlessly deliver a perfect piece to camera. A clear fan favourite moment from the presenter's long and distinguished back catalogue. Few scenes so magnificently sum up the magic of the natural world.
Yeah, that's cool. He got lucky on that one. 'Cause how do you just go out in a boat looking for whales and then you find one? He's a lucky man, you know?
Number 2, the Baby Rhino, Africa. This documentary, obviously set exclusively in Africa, features one of the most moving moments of Attenborough's entire career as he befriends a blind baby rhino called Nicky.
He's blind.
In an interview for Radio 5 Live, Sir David admitted to sometimes crying over the suffering of the animals that he encounters, but he maintains that it's inappropriate for presenters to intervene or even show their emotion. Those principles were surely pushed to their limits here. Nicky never did get his eye operation, but still thrived in the care of a Kenyan wildlife team.
Okay. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. If the blind rhino was out in nature, it would probably not survive, but that's natural selection in a way. It sounds cruel, but I don't know. I'm torn on that one. Poor rhino.
But still thrived in the care of a Kenyan wildlife team.
He thrived. That's
Number
good.
1, mountain gorillas. Life on Earth. This clip has been regularly voted not just as a standout David Attenborough moment, but as one of the top TV moments in general of all time.
That's terrifying.
Filmed in Rwanda, it begins with a scripted section about the largest members of the ape family.
Those things could kill him in an instant. They could rip his face off. Just reach a hand over and pull his face off.
But after feeling the hand of a female gorilla on his head, Attenborough's encounter with the group gets a little closer than he'd anticipated.
Get out of there.
And the reason why the presenter is smiling and grimacing
they're
throughout,
cuddling.
because out of shot, 2 playful baby
sorta.
gorillas are carefully removing his shoes. Do you
Oh.
agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips.
Wow, he survived. Chilling with gorillas. They're lucky that David Attenborough is a heart of gold and not a poacher. He did capture that one orangutan, little Charlie. But apparently, little Charlie had a lot of sex at the zoo, so it couldn't have been all that bad. Unless it was forced. What if Charlie was gay? Wow. David Attenborough is a national treasure, but I feel like he's a treasure of humanity. He represents humans to these other species in a way that is ideal. Is he still with us? I know his brother was in Jurassic Park. David Attenborough. Y'all, he's 98 years old. David, way to go. What are you eating? It's that heart of gold, I'm telling you. He's a kind, content man who loves nature. That's how you do it, maybe. He was in the Navy. He became controller of BBC Two in 1965. He had a clause inserted in his contract that would allow him to continue making programs on occasional basis. Okay, so he had some power. Oh, and then he rose to the top of the both BBC channels when there were only 2, I guess. Wait, does that mean that he was one of the ones banning Beatles songs and censoring Monty Python? He has attracted criticism for his views on human overpopulation and human population control. He's agnostic. He describes himself as a standard-boring left-wing liberal. At least 20 species, both living and extinct, have been named in Attenborough's honor. Wow. That's influence. I love that. I love that he's getting props. What if he's secretly a jerk? I hope not. Look at all these awards. What a guy. I would love to meet him. I hope he lives to be 120. I think he can do it. Stop eating that bacon, David. If we had to have an ambassador of humanity to reach out to the rest of the universe, he would be a good contender. I would also nominate Jack Black. Thanks to my patrons. I appreciate y'all. If you'd like to become a patron and help me out, help me make more videos, there's a link in the description. Right. Anyway, thanks for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.